All right, starting the ratio word problem, starting with number 11. The ratio of boys to girls in the theater is 7-9. There are 12 more girls than boys in the theater. How many children are there in the theater? So there is one ratio in this question, and so the kids have learned to follow 4.3a, which will be available for their test. When there's only one ratio, the first thing you do is just start drawing. And so because my ratio says 7 boys, I'm going to draw a bar and put in 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would make 7 boxes. And my girls' number is 9. So I'm going to leave a little space. I should be able to put 2 more boxes in here, and I'm going to try to get them to line up. And I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. All right, so once I get them drawn, the biggest thing to do is figure out where this number goes. It says there are 12 more girls than boys. So if I were to break off where girls and boys are the same, it's right here. That would be 7 boxes for girls and 7 boxes for boys. But there are 2 more boxes of girls. And it tells me right here that there are 12 more girls than boys. So those 12 girls need to fit equally into these 2 boxes. And so what students have been taught is wherever this bracket, however many boxes this bracket's around, that's what you divide by. So we're going to take 12 and we're going to divide it by 2, which tells me that there are 6 kids in each box. I know that sounds a little strange. So we're going to go back and put a 6 in every box, because the cool thing about ratios is if it's true for one, it's true for all. And then we can answer the question. The question is, how many children are there in the theater? And we always put our total off to the side. And so if I take and I add my 7 boxes plus my 9 boxes, I get 16 boxes. And in each box, I have a 6. So I can do a quick multiplication sentence. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 more is 9. So there are 96 children in the theater. And that would be my final answer. The big thing that Math in Focus teaches is finding that one unit. And you need a piece of information, which was our 12, in order to figure out what I'm going to divide by and find that one unit. All right, looking at number 12, there are 350 red flowers in a room. There are 70 more yellow flowers than red flowers. There are 140 fewer white flowers than yellow flowers. What is the ratio of red to yellow flowers to white flowers? So it first tells me there are 350. So I'm going to draw my bar and I'm going to label this 350. There are 350 red flowers. It says there are 70 more yellow than red. So I'm going to take my yellow. I'm going to start with 350, but I'm going to add on 70 more. So I had 350 and I add 70 more. I'm going to do the math over here. So we get 0. 7 and 5 is 12. So I know that there are, I'm going to write an equal sign off to the side because I'm kind of running out of room. 420 yellow. We already determined that there's 350 red. And then it says there are 140 fewer white flowers than yellow. So white, I'm going to start off with the 420 because they're comparing to yellow, but I know I need to cut off 140. So if I do my math over here and I start with 420 and I take away 140, 12 take away 4 is 8. So I end up with 280 here. So I know that my white is 280. So what they want to know in the end is what's the ratio of red to yellow to white. So we need red to yellow to white, and they want it in ratio form. So we figured out red was 350, yellow was 420, and white is 280. So I noticed that those are really big numbers, and I know with ratios we always want to simplify as much as we can. So the first thing I see is they all end in a 0, and if I take off a 0 in each one, it's like I'm dividing by 10, and I have 35 to 42 to 28. And then I ask myself, what do all of those numbers have in common? And I know that they can all be divided by 7. And again, they could use a multiplication chart. 35 divided by 7 is 5. 42 divided by 7 is 6. And 28 divided by 7 is 4. And I'm looking at 5, 6, and 4, and I know that that is in simplest form at this point. So 5 to 6 to 4 is the simplest we can get that ratio. All right, looking at the last one on this page. It says the ratio of the number of cars to motorcycles in a parking lot is 10 to 3. The ratio of the number of motorcycles to vans is 2 to 5. There are 30 vans in the parking lot. How many more cars than vans are there? So this particular ratio we cannot start drawing right away. What we notice is that there are 2 ratios. So because there's 2 ratios, but there's not really a change, that they do give us another number, which is necessary, we're going to use 4.3b. And what that means is I need to get whatever's the same, and we'll talk about this in just a minute, to look the same. So what they gave us was cars to motorcycles is 10 to 3. And then they're talking about motorcycles to vans is 2 to 5. And so what you'll notice is that motorcycles, depending on who you compare them to, they look different, but there really are the same number of motorcycles. And I did a card trick in class to kind of prove this. So 3 and 2. I need to multiply by the least common multiple to get a new ratio for both, where these numbers would show up exactly the same. So the least common multiple of 3 and 2, if I started listing the multiples, I'd have 3, 6, 9, 12, 2, 4, 6. The first multiple that they both have in common is a 6. So I have to change this whole ratio. I can't just change this number to a 6. I need to multiply by 2 to get to 6. So I do the same thing, and 10 times 2 I know is 20. Same thing here. 2 times 3 is 6. So if I come over here and multiply 5 times 3, I get 15. So once I get to this point, I'm ready to draw my bars. I know that for cars, and this is a lot of bars, there's 20. And for motorcycles, I have 6. And for vans, I have 15. So I'm going to put in 19 lines. And for motorcycles, I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines make 6. And I need 15. All right, so I have my bars. And then I look for what information they gave. And they say right here that there are 30 vans in the parking lot. So the key is to figure out where the 30 goes, because as soon as I know where the 30 goes, then I know what to divide by. My vans are 30, so my bracket squeezes the number I need to divide by. So this 30 is squeezing 15 boxes. So if I take 30 and I divide it by 15, I know I'm going to get 2. That means that there's a 2 in every box. And you don't really have to put it in every box, but I just kind of sprinkle them throughout so we know. So because ratios, whatever's in one box, it's true for all of them. I know that there's a 2 in every box. So the question that I have to answer now that I know that there's a 2 in every box, I can answer the question. How many more cars than vans are there? Well, we know that there are 30 vans. So I'm going to take cars and I'm going to take away vans. So I know vans again is 30. Cars, I have 20 boxes, 2 in each box. 20 times 2 is 40. So if I take 40 and subtract 30, I get 10 more cars than vans. And that's how you would get that one. Thank you.